Welcome to the Parkrun Brief, the weekly parkrun training podcast, where I break down what we've published this week on parkruntraining.co.nz and turn it into practical coaching advice you can use this Saturday. For the Sunday reset, how to recover faster between runs without doing more work. Most runners think recovery requires something extra: more stretching, more foam rolling, more gadgets, more recovery tools, more time. But one of the biggest surprises for many runners is that recovering faster often has little to do with adding more to the schedule. Instead, it becomes about doing a few simple things consistently. And that's good news because most recreational runners already have enough on their plate. Sunday is the perfect opportunity to step back and look at recovery differently, not as another task to complete, but as a skill that can make every run feel better. Recovery is where fitness happens. Training doesn't make you fitter, recovery does. The run provides the stimulus. Recovery allows your body to adapt to that stimulus. Without recovery, training is simply stress. With recovery, training becomes improvement. That's why two runners can complete the same workout but get very different results from it. One absorbs the training, the other carries fatigue into the next session. Sleep, the most underrated recovery tool. If there were a recovery supplement that improved performance, reduced injury risk, enhanced adaptation, boosted mood, and cost nothing, every runner would want it. That's sleep. Yet it's often the first thing sacrificed during busy weeks. The reality is that your body performs much of its repair work whilst you sleep. Better sleep doesn't just improve recovery, it improves the quality of your next run. If you're looking for the biggest recovery win available, start here. Slow down your easy runs. One of the most common reasons runners struggle to recover is that the easy runs aren't actually easy. Every run becomes a moderate effort. Every run creates fatigue, and eventually the body never fully catches up. Easy running should feel relaxed, comfortable breathing, light effort. The goal isn't to prove your fitness, it's to support it. Often the fastest way to recover better is to simply running your recovery runs slower. Hydration is more important than most runners think. Many runners focus on hydration during races and forget about it the rest of the week. But even mild dehydration can influence recovery, energy levels, perceived effort, and muscle function. You don't need complicated formulas. Simply drink consistently through the day is often enough to make a noticeable difference. Recovery starts long before the next run begins. Eat like a runner, not like you've earned a reward. After a hard session, it's tempting to focus only on what you've burned. A better question is, what does my body need to recover? Quality carbohydrates help replenish energy stores. Protein supports muscle repair. Neither needs to be complicated. Recovery nutrition isn't about perfection. It's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to adapt. Keep moving. Recovery doesn't always mean complete rest. In fact, gentle movement often helps. A short walk, a relaxed jog, a few minutes of mobility. These activities encourage blood flow and help reduce stiffness without creating additional training stress. Sometimes doing less isn't the answer. Sometimes moving gently is. Stop chasing recovery gadgets. Compression boots, massage guns, ice baths, recovery supplements. Can they help? Sometimes. But they're often small gains compared to the fundamentals. Many runners spend time and money searching for advanced solutions while neglecting the basics: sleep, easy running, hydration, nutrition, and consistency. Master those first. Everything else becomes optional. Recovery is about reducing stress. Here's a simple way to think about recovery. Your body doesn't separate running stress from life stress. Work deadlines, family responsibilities, poor sleep, travel, hard workouts. It all contributes to the same overload. That's why recovery isn't just about what you do after a run. It's about managing your total stress. Sometimes recovering faster means running easier. Sometimes it means going to bed earlier. Sometimes it means giving yourself permission to do less. Your Sunday reset. Before the new week begins, ask yourself, what's the simplest thing I could improve about my recovery? Not five things, one thing. Maybe it's getting an extra hour of sleep, slowing down your easy runs, drinking more water, or eating better after workouts. Small improvements repeated consistently often produce bigger results than complicated recovery routines because recovering faster isn't usually about doing more work. It's about doing the important things better. And when recovery improves, everything else becomes easier too. For the Saturday Spark, how to stay mentally strong in the final kilometre. The final kilometre of parkrun is where the real conversation begins. Not the one with the runners around you, the one inside your own head. Your breathing is heavier, your legs are starting to tire. Every step feels a little harder than the one before. This is the point where your mind begins looking for reasons to slow down. But here's the good news. Mental strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you can practice every Saturday. Just like your fitness, it improves with consistent training. Accept that it will feel hard. One of the biggest mistakes runners make is expecting the final kilometre to feel comfortable. It won't. Whether you're running your first park run or chasing a sub 20 finish, the final kilometre should feel challenging. The difference is that experienced runners don't panic when the discomfort arrives. They expect it. Instead of thinking something's wrong, they think, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Accepting discomfort removes much of its power. Break the final kilometre into smaller targets. Thinking about one whole kilometre when you're tired can feel overwhelming. Instead, divide it into smaller pieces. Focus on the next tree, the next corner, the next marshal, or the runner just ahead. Each small target gives you something achievable to work towards. Before you know it, you've covered the entire kilometre. Control what you can control. When fatigue builds, don't worry about your watch. Instead, focus on things you can influence immediately. Stand tall. Relax your shoulders. Keep your hands loose. Maintain quick, light cadence, and breathe deeply and rhythmically. These simple cues help you stay efficient when your body wants to tighten up. Replace negative thoughts with positive cues. It's easy for your inner voice to become your biggest critic. Thoughts like, I'm slowing down. I can't hold this. Everyone's passing me. They don't help. Replace them with short, positive cues instead. Stay smooth. Strong to the finish. One more minute. Relax and run. Simple phases give your brain something productive to focus on. Remember why you started. When the finish line still feels a long way away, remind yourself why you came. Maybe you're chasing a PB, improving your fitness, setting an example for your children, enjoying time with friends, simply becoming a healthier version of yourself. That purpose is often stronger than temporary discomfort. Reconnect with it. The finish is closer than you think. Many runners ease off with 400 or 500 meters remaining because they assume they've reached their limit. Often they haven't. There's usually a little more available than you realize. Not enough to sprint wildly, but enough to maintain your form, keep your rhythm, and finish with purpose. Strong finishes are built on belief as much as fitness. The Saturday Spark takeaway. When the final kilometre starts asking difficult questions, answer them with confidence. Expect discomfort. It means you're working. Break the kilometre into small targets. Focus on your posture, breathing, and cadence. Replace doubt with positive cues and finish with purpose, not relief. Your body will often do what your mind believes it can. Stay mentally strong through the final kilometre, and you might just discover you're capable of more than you thought. Have a fantastic park run this weekend. The Friday Fast Track, a sustained threshold intervals for 5K success. There's one workout that consistently builds stronger 5K runners. It's sustained threshold intervals. This Friday Fast Track session combines 5 quality repetitions with short recoveries, allowing you to accumulate a substantial amount of time running at threshold intensity. It's a workout that rewards discipline, consistency, and patience. Qualities that carry over directly into better parkrun performances. 5 by 5 minute threshold. Warm up 10 minutes at level 2, easy, relaxed running. Main set 5 by 5 minutes at level 4, threshold effort. 1 minute at level 2, recovery jog between repetitions. Cool down 10 minutes at level 2. Post run 10 minutes gentle stretching. Why this works for parkrun. Threshold training improves your ability to maintain a strong pace while delaying the build-up of fatigue. The 5 minute repetitions are long enough to challenge your aerobic system, while the 1 minute recoveries are short enough to keep the pressure on throughout the workout. For park runners, this session helps you raise your lactate threshold, improve sustained aerobic power, build confidence running at challenging efforts, develop pacing discipline, and strengthen your ability to finish strongly. By the end of the session, you will have completed 25 minutes of quality running, a significant fitness building stimulus. How it should feel: controlled and purposeful from the first repetition. Breathing is deep and rhythmic. The recovery allows you to regroup but not fully recover. The fifth repetition should feel the most demanding, yet your pace should remain consistent. The goal is even effort across all 5 intervals rather than running your early reps too hard and fading late. My tip: think about running each repetition as though it were the middle kilometres of a 10-kilometre race. Strong, smooth, and sustainable. Resist the temptation to chase pace on the first interval. The runners who get the most from threshold training are those who finish the final repetition with the same quality as the first. Want to finish your next park run feeling stronger and more in control? Grab my free guide, Stronger for Parkrun, a quick routine to finish your 5K better. It's a simple, effective strength session you can add after any run, including today's Friday fast track workout. Get the Get the strength routine from the link that is in the description. What is Parkrun? The complete beginner's guide to your first 5K. Every Saturday morning, hundreds of thousands of people around the world gather in parks, reserves, beaches, forests, and community spaces to complete a free, timed 5 kilometre event. Some are trying to run personal bests, some are training for bigger events. Many are simply looking for a reason to get moving and meet new people. And every week, thousands of people attend their very first parkrun. If you've heard people talking about parkrun but aren't quite sure what it is, how it works, or whether it's right for you, this guide will answer everything you need to know before your first visit. What is Parkrun? Parkrun is a free, weekly, timed 5 kilometre event held every Saturday morning in locations all around the world. Participants can run, jog, walk, volunteer, or simply come along and support others. The concept is beautifully simple. Turn up, complete the course at your own pace, have your time recorded, and return the following week if you enjoyed it. The first parkrun was held in 2004 in London, England, when just 13 runners gathered in a local park. Since then, the movement has grown into a global community involving millions of participants across dozens of countries. Today, parkrun events are held throughout New Zealand, Australia, the United Kingdom, South Africa, United States, Canada, and many other nations. Despite the growth, the core philosophy remains unchanged. Parkrun is free, welcoming, inclusive, and open to everyone. Is parkrun a race? This is one of the most common misconceptions. While some participants treat parkrun as a race and chase personal bests, parkrun itself is not a race in the traditional sense. There are no prizes. There are no entry fees. There are no qualification standards. There is no pressure to run fast. You won't find elite athletes lining up at the front expecting everyone else to get out of the way. Instead, you'll find a wide range of participants: first-time runners, recreational joggers, walkers, families, competitive athletes, people returning from injury, people improving their health, people simply enjoying a Saturday morning outdoors. Everyone is welcome. The only competition that really matters is the one that you have with yourself. Do I need to be fit before I start? Absolutely not. Many people assume they need to be able to run 5 kilometres continuously before attending parkrun. You don't. Every week, thousands of participants walk the entire course. Others alternate between running and walking. Some push prams. Some complete the course while recovering from illness, injury, or long periods of inactivity. The beauty of parkrun is that it meets you where you are. Whether you finish in 18 minutes or 68 minutes, you'll receive exactly the same support, encouragement, and recognition. The final participant is never left behind because every parkrun has a volunteer known as the tail walker, whose job it is to remain at the back of the field and ensure everyone completes this course safely. Nobody finishes last at parkrun. Free download the first time parkrun checklist. Thinking about attending your first parkrun but not quite sure what to expect? Download my free first time parkrun checklist and discover how to register for parkrun and get your barcode, what to bring on Saturday morning, what happens before, during, and after the event, common first timer mistakes to avoid, how to feel confident before your first parkrun. Enter your details at the link below and I'll send your free copy immediately. How long does it take to complete a parkrun? For most people, parkrun takes somewhere between 20 and 50 minutes. Here's a rough guide. Fast runners, 16 to 22 minutes. Recreational runners, 25 to 35 minutes. Run walk participants, 35 to 45 minutes. Walkers, 45 to 70 minutes. There is no cut-off time. As long as you keep moving forward, you'll be welcomed and supported. Can I walk a parkrun? Yes. Walking is actively encouraged. In fact, one of the biggest changes in recent years has been the growing number of walkers participating every week. Some people walk because they're starting a fitness journey. Others walk because they're recovering from injury. Some enjoy the social side more than running. Whatever your reason, you belong at parkrun. The event is often described as a run, but the reality is that it's equally a walking event. What are the benefits of parkrun? While many people initially attend to improve their fitness, they often discover something even more valuable: physical health. Completing a regular 5 kilometre walk or run can help improve cardiovascular fitness, weight management, blood pressure, energy levels, strength, and endurance. Mental health. Many participants report improvements in mood, confidence, stress management, motivation, overall well-being. There is something powerful about starting your weekend with fresh air, movement, and positive people. Community and friendship. Many participants, this becomes the biggest benefit. It's common to arrive knowing nobody, and within a few weeks find yourself chatting with the same people every Saturday morning. Lifelong friendships have been formed through parkrun communities around the world. Is parkrun suitable for children? Yes. Children aged 4 to 10 can participate when accompanied by a responsible adult. Older children can often participate independently depending on local event requirements. Many families make parkrun part of their weekly routine. Parents run with children. Grandparents walk with grandchildren. Entire families participate together. It's one of the few sporting achievements where multiple generations can take part at the same time. Can I bring my dog? At many events, yes. However, rules vary by country and location. Some events allow dogs on a short handheld lead. Others may have restrictions based on local council requirements or course design. Always check your local event page before attending. What happens after you finish? After crossing the finish line, you'll receive a finish token and have your barcode scanned. Later that day, you'll receive your official result. Your results include finish time, position, age grade percentage, personal best information, and total number of park runs completed. Many participants can head to a local cafe for a post-event coffee or conversation. For some people, the social aspect becomes just as important as the run or walk itself. Common fears about your first park run. I'm too slow. You're not. Every park run has walkers and first timers. People will judge me. They won't. Most participants are too focused on their own experience to worry about anyone else's pace. I don't know anyone. Neither did most people when they attended their first event. I might have to walk. That's completely normal. Many participants walk all or part of every park run. I'm nervous. That's normal too. Almost everyone feels nervous before their first park run. Most discover within a few minutes that the atmosphere is far friendlier and more relaxing than they expected. Why your first parkrun matters. Your first parkrun isn't about your finishing time. It isn't about how fast you run. It isn't about where you finish. It's about taking the first step. Every experienced parkrunner started exactly where you are now. They attended their first event unsure what to expect. They wondered if they would fit in. They questioned whether you were fit enough. Then they showed up. And that's all you need to do. Turn up, take part, enjoy the experience. The rest will take care of itself. Ready for your first parkrun? Now that you know what parkrun is and why millions of people love it, the next step is getting registered and obtaining your barcode. In our next guide, we'll walk you through exactly how to register for parkrun, find your nearest event, and make sure you're ready for your first Saturday morning adventure. Make your first parkrun easier. If you're excited about attending your first parkrun but still have a few questions or nerves, I've created a free resource to help. Get the free first time parkrun checklist. This simple guide walks you through everything you need to know before Saturday morning, including registration and barcodes, what to wear, what to bring, when to arrive, what happens at the briefing, how the finishing process works, common mistakes first timers make. Thousands of people attend their first parkrun every week. This checklist will help you arrive feeling prepared, confident, and ready to enjoy your experience. Download your free copy with the link in the description. Run your own race. It's easy to forget that your only job at parkrun is to run your best race, not someone else's, yours. Yet every Saturday, runners make the same mistake. They let someone else decide how fast they should run. It starts within seconds. The countdown finishes, the field surges forward. Someone just ahead of you seems to be running comfortably, so you tuck in behind them. A few hundred meters later, you're still pulling away. You work a little harder and stay with them. Without realizing it, you've abandoned your own race plan and started following theirs. The problem with racing other people, the runner beside you doesn't know something you don't. They know how they've trained. They know how they're feeling. They know what pace they're aiming for. You don't. They might be chasing a personal best. They might be taking it easy. They might be running the first kilometre too fast. Or they might simply be fitter than you. Using someone else's pace as your guide is a bit like borrowing someone else's training plan. It might work for them, but it may not be right for you. Running to your fitness. The best parkrun happens when your pace reflects your current fitness, not your ambition. That's not always easy. We all want to run faster. We all want to beat the person just ahead. But smart pacing is about running the fastest pace you can sustain for the full 5 kilometres, not the fastest pace someone else can sustain. Trust the process. One of the hardest skills in running is letting people go, especially early in the run. But often that's exactly what you need to do. Stay relaxed, stay patient, and stay within yourself. If they've gone out too hard, you'll often see them again later. If they haven't, they were simply having a better day. Either way, you've given yourself the best opportunity to run well. Measure success differently. Instead of judging your run by where you are in the field, judge it by how well you executed your plan. Did you pace yourself sensibly? Did you stay controlled early? Did you finish strongly? Those are the things that lead to long-term improvement. Position in the field is only part of the story. A simple cue for Saturday. The next time you're feeling tempted to match another runner's pace, ask yourself, is this my pace or theirs? If the answer is theirs, back off slightly. Return to your rhythm. Trust your preparation. The bigger picture. Every parkrun is another opportunity to learn about yourself as a runner. The better you become at pacing your own effort, the more consistent your performance will become. You'll enjoy your running more. You'll finish stronger. And over time, the personal bests will follow. Bring it back to Saturday. Next weekend, challenge yourself to run your own race. Ignore the temptation to chase every runner who passes you. Focus on your effort. Trust your pacing, because the only race you can truly control is your own, and that's the one worth getting right. Most runners slow down. Tanya got faster. Hamilton Lake Parkrun Progress Report. This week's Parkrun Progress Report features Tanya Winter and her run at Hamilton Lake Parkrun number 625, where she finished in 27:24. At first glance, this might look like a fairly even run with a conservative start, but when you dig into the splits, a much more interesting story appears. This wasn't a runner who was simply trying to survive the final kilometre. This was a runner who managed her effort well enough to finish with her fastest kilometre of the day, and that's a habit worth developing. The pace tells the story. Tanya's kilometre splits were 5:40, 5:29, 5:26, 5:31, 5:06. Hamilton Lake is a flat course with only negligible elevation changes throughout the run, so those splits are almost entirely a reflection of pacing rather than terrain. What immediately stands out is the progressive nature of the run. Rather than charging away from the start, Tanya allowed herself to settle into a rhythm before gradually increasing the pace. The first kilometre was controlled. Some runners might look at 5:40 and think she gave away valuable time. I'm not so sure, because the remainder of the run suggests something very different. Instead of spending the race trying to recover from an overly ambitious start, Tanya steadily built into the effort. It's often a sign of a runner who understands that their body is prepared to race with patience rather than emotion. The middle of the race stayed consistent. The next 3 kilometres came in at 5:29, 5:26, 5:31. 5 seconds either side of each other isn't much at all. That's consistent pacing. There wasn't a dramatic slowdown. There wasn't a collapse. There wasn't any sign that Tanya had gone out beyond what she could sustain. She simply maintained a comfortable but purposeful rhythm. The final kilometre is the standout. The biggest positive comes right at the end, 5:06. That's a huge finish. Compared to with the fourth kilometre, Tanya found another 25 seconds over the final kilometre. On a flat course, that's significant. It tells me that she had both the physical and mental capacity to lift the pace when the finish line came into sight. That's exactly what you want to see. Stable cadence tells another positive story. Although the heart rate data wasn't available, cadence numbers provided another useful insight. Cadence remained remarkably consistent throughout. 174 SPM, 172, 170, 172, and 170 SPM for the final kilometre. Despite increasing her speed during the run, Tanya didn't dramatically change her running rhythm. That's encouraging because it suggests she increased her pace while maintaining efficient mechanics, rather than overstriding or forcing the effort. Many runners lose rhythm as fatigue builds. Tanya maintained hers. What can we learn? The biggest opportunity probably sits in the opening kilometre. Given how strongly Tanya finished, there may be scope over time to begin slightly faster while still preserving that excellent finish. Perhaps bringing that first kilometre closer to 5:30 to 5:35 could unlock another improvement. But if I had to choose between starting too fast and fading, or starting patiently and finishing strongly, I'd choose Tanya's approach every time. It's far easier to teach someone to be slightly more assertive early than it is to teach them how not to blow up halfway through the run. The biggest takeaway, what impressed me most wasn't the finishing time. It was the confidence to stay patient. Many runners become obsessed with the opening kilometre. Tanya focused on the finish. As a result, she crossed the finish line still running well, while many runners around her were probably slowing dramatically. That's smart racing. My final thoughts, this was a well executed park run built on controlled early pacing, consistent middle kilometres, efficient running mechanics, and an outstanding final kilometre. The biggest lesson from Tanya is simple. Your fastest kilometre doesn't have to be your first kilometre. Quite often, the biggest PBs come when your fastest running happens at the end, not the beginning. That's exactly what Tanya demonstrated at Hamilton Lake. Ready to finish your next parkrun stronger? If you'd like to learn how to pace your parkruns more efficiently, finish with confidence, and achieve more personal bests, Parkrun Kickstart is designed specifically for recreational runners looking to improve their 5K. Join Parkrun Kickstart with a link in the description. And if you'd like your own parkrun or 5K analysed in a future parkrun press report, you can also apply at the link in the description. Ka kite anō, and I'll see you at your next park run.